2016 Year Review, otherwise known as, did that really happen? I mean, think about where we were January 1st, 2016, and where we are now. And who knows what's next? But what lessons have we learned? Or have we? As the phrase goes, sometimes you have to look backwards in order to look forward. So where were you mentally, physically, spiritually, January 1st, 2016, the dawn of a new day, of a new year? And what lessons can you learn from the last year? Not only for yourself, but for ourselves as a people. We all go through our lives, scurrying around, doing everything we can for our friends, our family, our careers. We do what we have to do. Do we take time in those moments to think about the importance of what we do and why we do it? Or do we just get caught up in the moment, the what's next mentality, and forget about what's important, the future, our children, our grandchildren, and bigger issues that affect us all? Because time moves so fast. In the blink of an eye, it's going to be 2018. And what will you regret or wish you'd done differently in 2017 as you look back? That's the question to ask yourself now as we look back at 2016, otherwise known as, did that really happen? Yeah, this really happened. 2016, the Cubs actually did win the World Series. And yes, we did lose more of our privacy rights, and there's not much of the Fourth Amendment left. With all the technology now, the government can, if they want to, listen in on and be a part of about every aspect of our life. That's just the way things are. A guy named Bernie tapped into the tired of things as usual in politics and was, well, almost. And then the establishment, well, went whoops when they underestimated how ticked off people are at the government and the way things are. And even though a lot of people aren't happy with the outcome, we do have a new president who's, to say the least, a little bit outside the box. Who knows what the future will bring in that regard. But at least he's buddies with Vladimir Putin, or we hope he stays that way. David Bowie passed away. Bill Cosby made people sleepy, and that was not good. Strife and division plagued our nation. Things in the Middle East and Syria reached a boiling point, and most people don't even understand what's going on. Fidel passed away. And we lost Prince. And no one will be able to blame Obama for everything bad. My childhood idol and a man who gave up his career and everything for what he believes in, Muhammad Ali, passed away. Orlando brought terror and shame. Police officers' families grieved as their loved ones were slain in the line of duty. Families, and once again, our inability to understand each other and embrace our differences in a peaceful way reached a boiling point as families suffered inexplicable violence. Our Olympic swimmers woke up from a night on the town like they'd been at Cosby's house and then came up with some theory they'd been robbed when they hadn't. And yeah, he really did win the election, so it's time to get over it and just deal with the fact that that is our president. And hopefully the civil unrest will dissipate and we can begin to communicate with each other. As opposed to Turkey, where the off-duty police officer shot the ambassador from Russia. And time allows objectivity for us to evaluate our first African-American president who served 2 terms, and a hopeful look forward to the future, having had a front row seat at Cleveland. And I still don't really get this whole Pokemon thing. As for me, 2016 started off fresh from a break, having had a chance to take some time off to do the TV
Life
show.
tends to be simple when you play by the rules. But we're about to find out what happens when you don't. What would you do?
The question for me was, what would you do if you've been a lawyer for 22 years and then you did a TV show, which was great, but then your life was kind of in limbo? And you really didn't want to take another 3 months away from your law practice and, more importantly, your family. So you call your entertainment lawyer up and tell them thanks, but no thanks. Let them know that I won't be coming back. Which might have caught them by surprise, but it was a wonderful opportunity to do something I'd never done before. And walking away from it was one of the best things I ever did. I enjoyed meeting the different people from the show, and getting a break and getting to know them was wonderful, but when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, what's important is being able to be with your friends and family and your loved ones and be a dad to your kids every day. And that's not something you can do when you are working in other cities. But I still needed some creative outlets, so I did stand-up comedy for a while. It was a bit raunchy, but fun. And then when the whole Trump building the wall immigration thing came up, and I thought it was very ironic given the fact that we're all really British immigrants, I thought it'd be fun to do a documentary posing as a British person. So I finagled a pass to the Republican National Convention and did just that, and created a character called Nigel St. Regis.
Nigel St. Regis reporting live from Louisville, Kentucky. Took me a couple of times to learn how to pronounce that correctly. I was calling it Louisville, much to my chagrin. Louisville, Kentucky, future home of the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution. On our way to Cleveland and the crowning of Donald Trump. Is this a revolution, revolting, or just another candidate? More to come live on Reggie St. Regis. And by the way, we're across the street from the Louisville Slugger Factory. I think I'm going to get a baseball bat to take with me. You never know.
So then I had the wonderful opportunity to go to Cleveland again and experience the Republican National Convention. It was a really amazing process, especially seeing all of the protesters and seeing the First Amendment in action. That is actually government protecting your right to speech. There's nothing like seeing people who are protesting in different things and, they might be saying idiotic things. And when their right to speech was infringed upon or could be infringed upon, the police officer would surround them and actually protect them. It's quite beautiful. Our First Amendment actually does exist. Our Fourth Amendment, questionable, but the First Amendment is still there.
One nation, one nation. States of America. And to the Republic. And to the Republic. Indivisible. Indivisible. One nation, one nation, one nation, one nation. Nation. America.
When it comes to his patriotism, because like me, he loves this country very much.
Nigel St. Regis reporting live from Cleveland, where the convention delegates have gone back into the convention, where I will be going back in shortly. Just been observing the peaceful protesters and doing some interviews with the people here. One thing I'll say about the Americans, a very good conglomerate, lots of different people here today, coexisting quite well actually. You had different people from CodePink.org, Black Lives Matters, people who were against fornication. I don't know why, but they were shouting against it. I'm just generally against people who shout. That's part of my own personal opinion. But the one thing you can say about Americans is no matter what, no matter where you go, they're going to have great t-shirts for sale. But I picked this one up on the way because the t-shirts here just seem kind of dirty. They've been out the street and stuff. So, all right, this is Nigel St. Regis for St. Regis Productions saying good day from Cleveland. Everything's okie dokie. In fact, it's all good in the hood of Cleveland.
So to recap, it's good to have a moment to pause and reflect and remember what's important. Because life and time, it moves very, very quickly. And we always have to be ever mindful of what's most important. And build on the understanding of each other that we do have. And realize that we've actually been through worse times as a people and a nation, and come out stronger and better. And maybe that is now. And this is our opportunity.